Well, good morning, everybody. It's the middle of the week. Can you believe how fast it's gone by? Thank you for joining me for today's video devotion. We are in Genesis chapter 8. And as God spoke to me this week and I was writing in my journal, the headline I put, this is how I kind of titled what God said to me. Investigate, then listen, and finally act. Investigate, then listen, and finally act. Noah and all the animals and his family have been in the ark, the rain, the flood, all of that. And now the waters are receding and it's getting close to time for them to exit the ark. And in chapter 8, verse 15, then God spoke to Noah saying, then verse 16, go out of the ark, you and your wife and your sons and their wives and all of the animals and so on. So verse 15, God spoke to Noah saying, all right, it's time to go out of the ark. Preceding that, and all the verses of chapter 8 leading up to verse 18, it's interesting. Before Noah had clear direction from God about going out of the ark, it's time to exit the ark with your family and the animals, he investigated. You remember he sent out the raven, and then he sent out the dove 3 times, and on the third trip the dove did not return. So days and weeks passed. Noah was steadily investigating. Have the waters receded? Is there dry land and all of that? By sending out those birds, he didn't rush. He wasn't rash. He wasn't, he wasn't emotional or impulsive. He didn't say, I am so sick and tired of being in this ark with these smelly animals. I'm ready to get out of here, and I'm leaving now. He didn't do that. Wasn't impulsive. Wasn't emotional. He didn't rely on his own instincts or his own thoughts or self-talk or interest or wants or any of that stuff. He investigated consistently and steadily and gathered facts. And so he had facts, he had patience, he had a clear word from God. But what's interesting to me was after the third time he sent the dove out and the dove did not return, so he knew there was plenty of dry land, it was still 1 month before he had clear direction from God. He heard God's voice to leave the ark. See, sometimes what we do is we investigate, we get information, then we make quick, rash decisions. We need to allow time after we have all the information, allow time for us to hear God. That's where the listening comes in. And God doesn't always speak on my schedule or your schedule. We have to have some patience. Sometimes God says, you might gather all this information, but I need you to wait a while. Might be a week, might be a month, might be a year. I don't know what it is. But God says, you got to wait a while to clearly hear me. So you're not acting just on your thoughts, your impulse, your emotions, your wisdom. So investigate, listen, and then when you have a clear word from God, act. That's when Noah opened the door and walked out of the ark with his family and all the animals. And that's good advice for all of us. So here's the mantra. Investigate. Wait so that you can hear. So listen and then act once you've listened and heard from the voice of God. And don't make the mistake of substituting your thoughts necessarily for the thoughts of God. Listen until you hear the voice of God. I hope that helps you and encourages you. God bless you, and I'll see you tomorrow.